Hello everyone and welcome to Long's Toys. Today we'll be taking a look at Jabba's Bounty from the Playskool Star Wars Galactic Heroes line. Now as far as I know, this started out as a Kohl's exclusive, and what Kohl's likes to do, or at least what they used to like to do, was take a bunch of existing toys or have the retailer bundle a bunch of existing toys together to make a nice piece of real estate on the shelf, like a nice big gift set that like a grandma could just come by and easily pick up for one of her grandkids or something like that. Christmas time shopping. So this started out as a Kohl's exclusive as far as I can tell, but I actually found this on Amazon, and at the time the listing, Amazon said it was their exclusive. So I don't know if it's slightly different than the Kohl's version, but the Kohl's version usually says Kohl's exclusive on it somewhere, but this doesn't. So I don't know if it got reissued or what, but in any case, it's a nice gift set here of a couple existing toys. The Jabba and the Gamorrean Guard and the Slave One are kind of repurposed from the old Galactic Heroes line where they had much less articulation. Pretty sure the Gamorrean Guard has no articulation. But the Boba Fett, the Luke, and the Han are in the new Playskool style. Well, technically at this point, not the newest because they don't have the weird rod arms that pop out. These are the Playskool figures as I really appreciate them, with the normal shoulder joints similar to an Imaginext figure. So you have Luke in his black suit from Return of the Jedi with the green lightsaber, Boba Fett, and then Han in kind of the shirt and pants when he first comes out of the Carbonite. And you also get a little Carbonite version as well. So it's a pretty nice little gift set. I found this on Amazon for I believe $39.99, which I feel like is pretty decent considering the vehicle and a figure could probably run you at least 15 to 20 by itself. So I feel like you get a pretty decent assortment of toys here. Large packaging. Most of it is hollow on the bottom here, so it takes up a lot of space. Very visually appealing. You have a little picture of Boba Fett here on the side. Same picture of Boba Fett down here. Over here, it shows you a little bit how the Slave One works, where you can open the cockpit, the guns can rotate, and then you can jam Han Solo and Carbonite in there on the bottom. And again, all these features are shown off on the back as well. I apologize, it's a little difficult to get the box all in one shot because it's a massive box. So let's see what this little bio at the top says. Boba Fett has captured and handed over Han Solo to Jabba the Hutt. Will Luke Skywalker be able to rescue him from his Carbonite imprisonment? Spoilers, yes he can. So it looks like a really nice set. Let's go ahead and get out of the box here and we'll take a closer look. So here's everything you get in the set, and it's a really nice collection of figures. I'm going to start first with the main reason I wanted this set, Boba Fett. This is a really nice figure. And as I was saying earlier, the way Hasbro does their figures now, they don't have individual shoulder articulation. They have a bar across the back, and the arms are connected so that if you move one, they both move, because what you can do is actually pop the bar out and the arms are connected to the bar and you can interchange different arms. And I understand it's a gimmick that they're trying, but I really don't think it works. It really hinders individual arm movement and things like that. So this set still had the old version of Boba Fett. Plus with the backpack, I wonder how they would even accomplish that. I know there's a new version of Boba Fett coming out soon, I think in a 2-pack with Vader, and they both have goofy special features like giant, I think Vader has that Force Cyclone that Kylo Ren had, and I think he's got like a weird giant missile launcher or something, but this is just the nice, simple version of the character. Painted very nicely, detailed very nicely, individual shoulder articulation. You have a wrist swivel as well. Head can move from side to side, and then you can bend at the waist. So this is a really fantastic figure, and I wanted to get this before it's gone, because once that other version comes out, I feel like people are going to be clamoring to get this version because it's just really well done. Next up we have Luke in his black Jedi outfit with his green lightsaber. Again, the hilt is painted pretty nicely, very nicely detailed. For some reason, this arm cannot go down anymore. I wonder if it was assembled weirdly or incorrectly. You can see that this, obviously the arm can go all the way around, but it can fold down pretty close to the body. This one, for some reason, can only go down that far, and I've tried and I've pushed it, and it really doesn't want to go, so I don't know, maybe the pin was set wrong, or there's a tab in there or something. The other thing I think is weird is you can see the belt has like a giant gap on both sides, and I don't really know why that is. I don't know why his belt doesn't go all the way around. It's very strange. But overall, the figure looks pretty good. Head can go side to side, shoulder articulation, wrist swivel 90 degrees at the waist. And the lightsaber does look pretty good. I love the gold band around the top. It's a nice little paint feature they didn't really have to add, but it looks really nice. Next up, we have a version of Han right after he comes out of the carbonite, where he just has the white shirt on. You can see his little gun holster molded there on the side, which I think looks pretty good. Bend at the waist, wrist swivel, normal shoulder articulation, and head swivel as well. So he's got pretty much the same articulation as anyone else. And he's got his gun. Then you get a version of Han in carbonite, which is very simple, but molded nicely, painted nicely. I think it's funny it has like the little indentation of the figure here on the back. This one almost looks like a chalk outline. But anyway, I think this looks pretty cool. Nice little molded detail on the side as well. So you get your Han in carbonite. Next up we have the Gamorrean Guard, and like I said, I'm almost positive, pretty positive, that this is just the same Gamorrean Guard from the old Galactic Heroes. It has absolutely no articulation whatsoever, but nicely detailed, nicely molded, and decent paint job as well. So even if you have a Gamorrean Guard from the old version, you know, you can troop build these a little bit. So it's a decent little figure. And then we have Jabba himself. It's kind of funny, the bottom part of his body is very soft, almost like a squeeze toy for a dog or something. It's very, very soft. But you can see great sculpting, great paint on the eyes. Seem to follow you wherever you go. The little tongue is an awesome touch. The only articulation he has is the arms move and his head can swivel from side to side. I feel like he's doing like the robot to like 80s music, just like then swivel from side to side. Anyway, so he's breakdancing, but I don't know. I just think he just throws his hand in the air and swivel from side to side. Just makes me laugh. But again, nicely painted, definitely nicely molded. All of this detail is very nice to give him that kind of scaly skin quality. And I think they painted the eyes and the tongue very nicely. So he's cool. I like him. He has a little tattoo or something on this arm, which is kind of neat. So yeah, I think it works. I mean, you don't really need Jabba to have a ton of articulation. He doesn't move all that much. Certainly not by Return of the Jedi. So that's it for figures. Really nice assortment of figures in my opinion. Taking a look now at the Slave 1. I think it looks pretty cool. Always like the color scheme of this ship. So you have these guns that have a really tight ratchet. You can hear that as they ratchet around. Now here's where normally the hold would open up and this would be a ramp that extends down, but obviously that's not the case here. So underneath you literally just plug in. Oh, did I do this backwards? There you go, you plug it in like that. And it just stays in there pretty snugly. You can see it's not going to fall out anytime soon. So it's pretty well done. Very simple, but it works. And then you just reach in and pull it back out. So I think it's cool. You can load it into the ship. Now how this is meant to work, and let me see if I can move the camera here. The cockpit opens very simply like this. But the way it works is you can see the seat inside is directly linked to the two wings. So how this is supposed to work, and for some reason these are like not quite, you can see how they're not quite in tune with each other. Oh, there we go. Okay. One was just clicked a little bit out of place. So again, to open the cockpit. Hold on, let me adjust the camera so I can show this off better. Alright, there we go. So again, if you open up the cockpit, you can see how the seat is located. Or situated. So if you rotate the wings up, it rotates the seat. Now to me, it almost looks like he would sit like this. So if we take Boba Fett, he would sit in here like this. But that's not really how it works. He actually stands. So you can see that he has peg holes on the bottom of his feet. And you're meant to, and it's easier said than done, but you're meant to put him in here and peg him in on his foot, if I can do it. So anyway, imagine he's pegged in. So then he would show up, and you can rotate the guns so they're forward, because this is how the ship flies through space, like this. So then he would be pegged in there just looking like that. Now, if you really wanted to, you don't have to peg him in. You could sit him down if you would prefer. You can just bend him at the waist and just sit him in here. And then close it up. And I kind of think that looks a little better. Looks a little bit more natural. So he's flying the Slave One through space. Now the problem is, as he lands, the guns come down, and then this folds back and lands like this. And then when you open this, now he's facing the wrong way. He's facing the back of the ship. And if he was pegged in, he would just be standing here looking at the back of the ship. Like that. So it's a little wonky in that respect, and I understand there's probably a tendency to want to sit him here, because that just kind of makes sense logistically. But then if you do that and you try to turn the wings, you're going to crush him. So you can't do that. So I feel like the seat is just molded a little strangely, but it's kind of just the way the ship is in the fiction, because, you know, he sits in, but then the thing swivels around in the way it flies. So I also believe that this was made to work with the old Galactic Hero version that didn't move at all and didn't have articulation, so that might be why he doesn't fit 100% in here. It's really impossible to get him to peg in, but you could do it if you fought enough with it. But like I said, I prefer to just kind of sit him in here like this. That way, when you turn this around, he is situated correctly. And then, like I said, it's just a little weird when you land him, because now he lands and he's facing the back of the ship, but he can still get out. So, a little weird, but overall, I think it can work, and it's definitely fun. I think it's a really fun set. For what you get, I think it's a pretty good value. You get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 figures. If you feel like the figures usually retail for anywhere between $3 and $4 a piece, I feel like that's a $20 value, $25 value right there. And then you're paying about $10 to $15 for the ship. I think it all works out pretty well. So I like it. Plus the fact that it comes with this really amazing Boba Fett figure that at this point is not really available anywhere else. I think they did at one time do a Boba Fett and Han and Carbonite 2-pack, but that thing is so rare at this point, it's cheaper just to buy this whole set than to try to track down just that 2-pack. So it's a nice Slave One. Like I said, I do think it was made back in the day to work with the old non-articulated versions of the Galactic Heroes, but I still think it works fairly well for this version of Boba Fett. The paint looks great. I like the features. I like the guns that rotate, and I like the fact that the wings moving rotates the seat inside so that he's properly oriented. It's just a little weirdly oriented when he lands. But I still think everything in the set is really cool, so I definitely urge you guys to pick it up if you're having fun collecting these, or if you know you have a kid who's going to love this set. There's a lot of good playability here. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Definitely like, comment, share, subscribe. Hope you guys enjoyed this video, and as always, thank you so much for watching.